What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some more news concerning Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia said this. He said, Anthony Joshua should have started his pressure earlier. Veteran and trainer Robert Garcia, who worked the corner of Anthony Joshua for his recent rematch with Alexander Usyk, believes the British star could have closed the show. He had applied a lot of pressure 2 or 3 rounds before the big ninth. Last weekend, Usyk retained his titles by outboxing Joshua over 12 rounds. However, Usyk came out like a whirlwind in the 10th after he was swarmed by the ninth and battered Joshua around the ring from bell to bell. Usyk continued to dominate the action in the final 2 rounds to clinch the fight. Joshua should have started his pressure earlier, Garcia said. He said, in round 9, we put pressure on Usyk, almost closed the fight when he started to punch Usyk's body more and began to press him more. If he had done that 2 or 3 rounds before, maybe the result would be different. AJ executed the game plan that they tried in the gym, but Garcia believes he lacked intensity. He said about the work that we did in the gym and how the fight was going until round 9. I think Joshua was doing what we planned. He said he was using his punches to keep Usyk at distance, his jab, his reach, but I would have liked him to throw his jab a lot with more power. Sometimes we was just using the jab to keep Usyk at distance, but there were many opportunities where the jab could have been more solid, but it wasn't that way. The last 3 rounds changed the fight's outcome. I think we were doing well until round 10 when everything changed in the fight. The last 3 rounds defined the fight, but round 9, we were close to winning by knockout. He said, I was training him, Garcia admitted. I have to see what I missed in our training camp. I am a trainer and a person who doesn't like to lose. I keep working. On Monday, I arrived at my gym to start work in other fights that I have. I keep myself busy, but I think about that fight, and I really believe we were doing well until the 10th. We were winning on the judges' scorecards, but we could have done more. Throw the jab with more power. Throw his straight right in more solid. Throw the 1-2 combinations more frequently. Those are the words of Robert Garcia. Me counterpunching the analysis of Robert, I think he's right. I think that Joshua should have done more. I saw that fight now 3 times. And the more I watch it, the more I think to myself, Joshua just didn't do enough. You know, the rally should have started more. I think there should have at least been times, where if you knew you had stamina issues or stamina concerns, I think he should have gave at least 5 or 6 punch combinations, okay? Because this fight really was about how much you wanted to win, who wanted it more, who could do more to who. It was a pretty stable fight if Joshua would have kept it that way. And see, Joshua hits hard enough and his punch placement is so good that when you do see a punch lands, it does make an accent to the crowd, to the judges, especially to the other fighter that received the punch and everything else. Okay, but he just didn't do enough of that. But then looking at it in hindsight also, Robert's job, I believed his job was to motivate Joshua and to inform Joshua while Joshua was in the fight. This is what you need to do, and I need to see more of it. That's what coaches are for. They're not to sit there and make an analysis and analyze you on what you did wrong, and then after the fight, they tell you. No, you tell them as the fight moves through, hey, this is what you need to do. Bars. So I think that Robert Garcia, should have, if he didn't, because he was the corner man, and that's something else I want to cover with you guys in this video. I'm thinking like, okay, I didn't see him really in his face. I've seen Angel Fernandez. He looked like he was more intense, but I think he was giving Joshua too much praise for the things that he was doing versus the things that he wasn't doing. I think a lot of times people, thrive on disappointments than achievements. And I think Joshua may be that person. Like, look, I like what you're doing, but I want to see this here. Okay. And I didn't hear too much in the corner on what the instructions were. I'm going to look at that fight again, for the fourth time to see if I can see any type of instructions with urgency from the corner. Yes, I do know that it's up to the fighter to make that fight work, but I think and I want to see and be convinced that these guys were telling Joshua with intensity, slap him or something, that, yo, this is what you need to do. I don't know if that really happened. And back to Robert Garcia being in the corner, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I think if that was the case, I think that Robert Garcia should have been there half the time, 6 and 6. Angel's in there on the corner, Robert Garcia steps in. Next round, then Angel Garcia's in front of him, then Robert's in the corner. I didn't like to see Robert, that extra element, being on the side like that. I just didn't. But then again, we've seen that with Dillian White. But, that didn't go well either when he got knocked out by Povetkin. It was going well until he got knocked out by Povetkin. But, I just think if he was just so important of an asset, why would he be to the side? Not saying you can't listen when someone's in your ear, because I've been with a fighter and I've been in his ear, but I think that person in front of you is the person you're looking at, and then he's drilling these things to you, so it's kind of hard to gauge compared to other fighters that he's trained and where he was, you know what I mean? And like, if you look at the Maidana fight, he was right in front of Marcos, contrast this fight, right? So, but no, I do agree with Robert Garcia. Anthony Joshua should have started earlier. But then to counter that, people, if he felt that way, he should have had him doing what he did in round 9 earlier. Because if not, if he was telling Anthony Joshua, yo, you need to do, we need to see some aggression, an onslaught, something that's changing this fight and accenting these rounds in your favor. Okay, I want to see more of it. I want to see combinations. I want to see you throw that jab with more power. I want you to, when he comes forward and you catch him with that jab, I want that jab to stick. I wanted to see like that jab that he jabbed Andy Ruiz with in the rematch in Saudi Arabia. That's what he wanted to see. And the 1-2, it should have been more there. 1-2, step back. 1-2, step back. You know what I mean? Those type of punches. But then again, I have to see if Robert and Angel were actually instructing him the right way. See, I think he does need a Felix Trinidad Sr. slap. Because I think Joshua gets too complacent. And I think in his mind, he thinks he's doing well or better than he's actually doing. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Robert Garcia admitting that Joshua should have started earlier with the aggression. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.